In the summer of 1518, something terrifying happened in the city of Strasbourg, inside the Holy Roman Empire. It began with one woman. Historical records say she suddenly stepped into the street and started dancing uncontrollably. There was no music, no celebration, no audience. Yet she continued moving for hours beneath the burning summer heat. By the next day, she was still dancing. Then something even stranger happened. More people joined her. Within days, dozens of citizens were dancing through the streets without rest. Some screamed in fear while their bodies continued moving against their will. The city had no explanation. Panic slowly spread across Strasbourg as the strange outbreak grew larger every day.
At first, local authorities believed the condition was physical rather than supernatural. Physicians claimed the victims suffered from overheated blood and recommended that they continue dancing until the sickness left their bodies. Musicians were hired, public stages were built. Drums and flutes echoed through crowded medieval streets while exhausted victims danced for hours beneath torchlight. But the strategy only made things worse. More citizens collapsed from exhaustion, dehydration, and physical stress. Some reportedly suffered heart attacks or strokes. Witnesses described bleeding feet, uncontrollable shaking, and terrified expressions. Yet the dancers could not stop. Fear consumed the city as rumors spread about curses, divine punishment, demonic possession, and witchcraft.
The outbreak soon became one of history's strangest mysteries. Priests organized religious ceremonies. Citizens gathered inside churches praying for mercy. Some victims were transported to distant shrines in hopes of divine healing. Meanwhile, the streets of Strasbourg transformed into scenes of chaos and exhaustion. Crowds surrounded dancers collapsing onto cobblestones before rising again in panic. Families locked themselves inside their homes at night, while drums echoed through fog-covered alleys. Historians believe the population was already suffering severe stress before the event began. Famine, disease, poverty, and social fear had placed enormous psychological pressure on the city. Some experts now believe the dancing plague may have been a case of mass hysteria, triggered by extreme emotional trauma.
Other theories also emerged over the centuries. Some researchers suggested the victims may have consumed poisonous rye infected with a hallucinogenic fungus. Others argued that neurological illness or religious fear played a role. But no theory fully explains how hundreds of people appeared to dance uncontrollably for days or even weeks. Medieval records described crowds moving endlessly through the streets, while horrified citizens watched helplessly. The event seemed to spread almost like panic itself. One frightened observer saw another collapse into uncontrollable movement, and fear may have intensified the behavior further. Even today, scientists and historians continue debating what truly happened during those terrifying weeks in 1518.
Eventually, the outbreak began to fade. The streets grew quiet again. Musicians disappeared. The exhausted survivors slowly returned home, while Strasbourg attempted to move forward from the nightmare. But the mystery never vanished. Centuries later, the dancing plague of 1518 remains one of the most disturbing, unexplained events in European history. It was not a war. It was not a natural disaster. It was something far stranger. Ordinary people suddenly lost control of their own bodies in front of an entire city. Ancient manuscripts still describe the horror in chilling detail. And even now, no one can say with complete certainty why hundreds of people danced until collapse, exhaustion, and death beneath the dark medieval skies of Strasbourg every year.